Good morning, everybody, and thanks to PMS Bazaar for this wonderful opportunity to interact with the investors. With the global impact of COVID 19, we are entering into a new world. Domestically, a lot will depend upon government's response to monetary and fiscal policies. With the strong coupling with global economies, even those countries' response will have a major impact on Indian economy. COVID 19 has impacted us on multiple levels like agri income, job losses, salary cut, shortage of labor, disruption of supply chain, and many more. In my view, market was expecting extension of first phase of lockdown, so the reaction to it actually happening was muted. But there is a probability that the extension will be extended further, and which market is not expecting. IMF is expecting global growth to be negative 3%, which means that there will be a decline in global demand. India's GDP estimates are also being reworked and currently at close to 2% growth. Emerging global situation is favorable for India, and India will be among only those 3-4 countries which will have a positive GDP growth next year. Coming to Nifty's earnings have been cut by 10% for FY20 and by 20% by FY21. It is now expected to grow by 2% in FY20, 7-8% in FY21 before it posts 25% plus super normal growth in FY22. Nifty has traded at 10-year average of a PE of 19, price to book at 3.5 and dividend yield of 2%, which is currently trading at a PE of close to 14 times 1 year forward earnings. And it is looking attractive in all the 3 factors. If you apply same factors for FY22 earnings, there is almost 35 to 40% upside from current levels in next 18 to 24 months. I feel markets will be choppy to begin with and then catch the upwards momentum towards this destination. I expect this rally to be more broad-based than what we witnessed in last few years. And bottom-up stock picking will be rewarded meaningfully. Sector rotations will be faster, but market will keep rewarding companies with strong balance sheet and high corporate governance. The product which we are going to talk about today is SBI Growth with Values portfolio. This is an ESG thematic fund, and I'll take you first through that theme and how it is important for everybody to follow. As the name suggests, the portfolio strategy is to invest into growth-oriented companies which follow positive standards of the ESG and social responsibility. As you know, ESG stands for environment, social and governance. We avoid investing in businesses which are environment damaging, socially irresponsible and do not follow positive standards of corporate governance. This process is called as negative screening. By virtue of this, we do not invest in few sectors like weapon manufacturing, tobacco, liquor, betting, casinos and pesticides. This is the first PMS product in India which is based on ESG investing theme. The fund was launched in July 2016 and I have been managing the fund from its launch. We focus on bottom-up stock picking of best ideas across sectors with near zero market timing. It's a concentrated portfolio strategy with minimum 15 and maximum 25 number of stocks. It's multi-cap in nature. We invest in stocks with capable management, scalable business and sustainable profitability. We look for return on equity spread of 3 to 4% over cost of equity. Why the ROEs are not static but dynamic in nature is because the cost of equity is also dynamic in nature. So while the numerator is important, that which is returns posted by a company, the denominator which is a cost of equity is also important. We look for low leverage companies and we invest in 3 to 4 years perspective. Currently, we are 40% in large cap and balance in mid and small cap. But the market cap composition for us is just an outcome of the stocks which we have invested. And we can swing from 0% to 100% in large cap. But we restrict small cap exposure only to maximum 35%. Now let me touch upon the current situation and then we'll focus more on the portfolio strategy. The COVID-19 pandemic has been extraordinary in innumerable ways. Its impact is just not restricted to health and humanity. It is an economic and social issue with generational consequences. We believe that it could also be a defining moment for environment, social and governance issues. From a social perspective, we expect companies will be rewarded and remembered more on their actions during this crisis. The societal role of companies has been invigorated like never. COVID-19 has again underscored that when it comes to human versus nature, nature always has the upper hand. We hope that many of us become more responsible towards nature and humanity. As everybody is aware that not only us but the whole world is impacted by COVID-19. We are loaded with a lot of information and I will not dwell more on that. But just a few references would be helpful. Going back in history, mankind has faced various problems like pandemics like Spanish flu, 9/11, World War, etc. But humanity has always come out of it. In the recent times, the world witnessed negative GDP long back in 1980. But so was not the case even in Lehman crisis in 2008. If we look here a year ahead, with all the brains available in the world, we'll come out with some vaccine or suitable solution to come out of this crisis. Our entry into COVID-19 was quite unfortunate because our economy was just coming out of the bad shape because created by the NBFC crisis, global issues like US-China trade war, oil-related issues. And this lockdown looks like has taken us back many months. Indian government's response on health and humanity was very well received. What it lacked was the response on fiscal and monetary front. Experts feel that government's response to these issues was slower than expected and than required. And it has not acted upon soon. If it is not acted upon soon, there is a probability of us falling into recession. We hope that doesn't occur. India is a low per capita country and large portion of ours lives on daily or weekly wages. Their savings may not suffice them to support their livelihood beyond 3-4 months. That's a big worry. On the other hand, developed countries' response to this crisis through fiscal stimulus was faster. Maybe one of the reasons for India for a slower response is the concern about the rating downgrade. But just to think about this and think about it that how can US, Europe and Japan keep printing money and continue to be AAA rated while India following fiscal responsibility will be downgraded. If these conditions really continue for longer, many more companies will fall into a debt trap, which is what we cannot have it at this point of time. The only silver lining is very low oil prices. The savings from oil imports can be utilized to boost sectors which generate higher employment like infrastructure construction. Now the next question will be, what should we investors do? Are these the right times for investing? Where should we invest and how much? I have always believed and propagated disciplined investing approach. Equity is one of the better options for creating wealth in longer term. I suggest investing 40 to 50% of your funds allocated to equity now in a product which is based on aligned to your risk appetite and balance 50% in smaller tranches spread across 5 to 6 months. Our SBI Growth with Values portfolio has a facility to invest in smaller tranches after the initial investment. So now let me also share what are the actions I have planned for our portfolio. In these really certainly uncertain times, the first question is, does the strategy of SBI Growth with Values portfolio need change? At this point, I would like you to take few months back and share what we were doing. Few months back, when the valuations were really getting crazy, we started trimming our weights in stocks and booking profits. At the same time, we diversified to more number of stocks to reduce the concentration, and we reached maximum limit of 25 number of stocks than we earlier held 22. What we did not change in this strategy that we continued to invest in businesses driven by capable management having scalability and sustainable profitability. We were averse to investing in high leverage companies and avoided companies with high debt. This was true even for the construction stocks which we held in the portfolio. Now, what is the change that I am planning to do? The underlying strategy remains same of owning the businesses which we would like to own for medium and long term. I am redefining the strategy by dividing the universe into 3 buckets. First bucket is of the businesses which fall into the strategy we have followed till now. Some of these businesses may take little longer to come back to normalcy, but will not close down in such crisis. Second bucket will comprise of the businesses which have got disrupted but are expected to bounce back to normal sooner than the other companies. These may not exactly fit into the buy and hold strategy, but the valuations have become so appealing that their bounce back will be sharper. The third opportunity which I am evaluating is to invest in the businesses which we have stayed away due to high leverage of balance sheet. These companies are now reflecting better business sustainability and will benefit from the lower interest rates. The savings of interest costs will directly flow into the bottom line for such companies, and so it will start reflecting in the valuations. But it will be always our endeavor not to add huge risk to the portfolio with whatever changes we make to the strategy. Just to sum it up, the portfolio strategy is to invest into 3 buckets of opportunities market currently is offering, but with the control risk. I again thank PMS Bazaar for this opportunity, and I wish everyone healthy days, happy investing, and stay safe. Thank you.